This is the Paris Incarnon. I'm ranking it as the 9th strongest Incarnon Primary, under the Dread and above the Bratton. This is the second Incarnon Primary to be a true S tier only weapon, meaning I'm only really going to use it with a proper Warframe synergy. The Incarnon form has infinite body punch through just like the Nataruk, with essentially the same stats as the base Paris. But obviously with the different upgrades, it can easily clear entire hallways in one shot. This is very similar to the Dread Incarnon, but the Paris has some really absurd damage stats. Incarnons will always suck a little bit because I have to constantly keep charging. Thankfully, the Paris is a special case where each arrow seems to charge more of the gauge than the Latron or the Burstin. But obviously when you compare this projectile to a bouncing AoE like the Latron, this one is going to be worse. For the first upgrade, I chose Guardian's Might. It gives bonus damage when overshields are active, and this is kind of the first situation where both upgrades are only valuable on specific builds. For the second utility upgrade, I chose Swift Deliverance for 60% bonus projectile speed. This is pretty much mandatory and makes the shot insanely fast. And for the last and most important upgrade, I chose Elemental Balance for 60% bonus status chance. This makes the most sense thanks to Paris' unique augment mod. Honestly, the Paris Incarnon build is just really weird. First off, Visage Ball, the augment mod, gives 90% status chance, which gets the Incarnon to almost 300% status. Pairing that with the right amount of fire and multi-shot, and every shot will be dealing a criminal amount of damage. Of course, just like every other primary, I'm using Primary Merciless to maximize the raw damage of each shot. You'll notice that I'm also not using Hunter Munitions thanks to the heat damage. Then it's just the classic damage, multi-shot, viral, and crit stats. The two open slots are Vigilante Armaments and Thermite rounds. Because of the Paris' unique stat spread and the use of Vigilante Armaments for bonus multi-shot, the Riven needs to be a unicorn. Of course, I managed to roll a cold critical damage Riven off of one roll, which fits perfectly and makes the fire and viral damage almost exactly the same. Like I said in the last video, these weapons really want a Warframe synergy, and honestly the Paris needs one even more than the Dread to really make the gameplay more straightforward. The first frame and the model for the weapon was Oberon. Honestly, when I chose him, I thought the radiation would be a lot better at grouping up enemies, but instead it basically just distracts them so you can line up the best shots. Of course, he's still a double buff frame with Arcane Avenger and Roar, but that only goes so far with S tier weapons. And the other frame was Mag Prime. I chose her very specifically because she's the only shield frame that's also a max range Coil Horizon build. But also Mag's pull is just as effective when the range isn't cut in half. Obviously the combo of having overshields and grouping is perfect for the Paris. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the Paris Incarnon in the comments. As always, thanks for liking and subscribing, and come say hi when I'm streaming.